Low Vision Chef presents Basic Knife Choices 1.
Hi, thank you for joining Low Vision Chef. This is our basic series on choosing knives for low vision. We're going to begin talking about the nylon knives, and the first one I'm going to talk to you about is what is called the lettuce knife. The lettuce knife is approximately 10 inches long. Its color is like a minty color of green. It's nylon. It has a serrated blade, nylon handle, and nylon blade. And the serration assists you because you're going to be using the power of your hand to push through things rather than the actual sharpness of the knife. The blade at the widest point is approximately 2 inches wide, and you'll want to use a back and forth motion to cut through your food rather than actual sharpness, so it gives you more control. This knife would be recommended for use, say if you have medical problems, you're on a medication which causes bleeding, or you feel insecure using a knife again and you first lose your vision. Now you hold it in the same method which you would hold any other knife, with your small finger, your ring finger, and your third finger wrapped around the handle of your blade, and your thumb and your index finger pinching at the top side of the knife blade. And then, of course, you claw grip on the food with your fingers curled under to protect yourself still, even though there's less danger of being cut. And then, of course, you find the end of your food, bring the knife up to the top of the food, and then go down, and in a sawing motion to go through the food. I've got a cucumber which I've cut in half. Use it in the same method that you would any chef knife. Just come to your food, end of your food, bring the knife up, leaving the front portion of the knife blade, lifting the back of the knife that's closest to your fingers or your hand, and then going down in a sawing motion. That gives you a little bit more control, using your pinch method as you do with any other knife. And then if you need added safety, please use a knife guard. But that's one option for a knife. We'll get into skills later on another video. Another option for a knife is called the Bakeware Buddy. And it's about a 2 to 3 inch serrated blade. It's a nylon knife again with the serration as well. It has nylon handle, nylon blade, and it's good for cutting brownies, bread, small items. It just gives you a small accompaniment to your large lettuce knife. So the same thing, same uses as the large knife, is you're going to hold it with your 3 fingers cradled around the blade, and the knife accounts for that and the way they manufacture it. And then of course your thumb and your index finger pinching on the top side of the blade, and then of course you just use it, and again friction, and you wouldn't cut down and keep going if your finger was underneath it. It doesn't have a real sharp blade, but again back and forth motion and a cutting motion to actually use the knife. A sawing motion, which provides more safety because you would stop sawing if you felt you were cutting into your hand. Another safe method for cutting with low vision. Okay, another option is the nylon child's knife for using when you have low vision. These knives also mimic the chef knife. They come in small, medium, and large. They're a white in color. Of course, they have a little bit of a green, like almost a neon green silicone in the handle. They're good for children, low vision or blind, to learn to use a knife with, just to practice knife skills with. They make it a little bit safer because they only cut in the forward motion. And again, you can fit them to the size of the child or the adult because they come in the small, medium, and large. And just practice with them on softer fruits and vegetables, and they only do cut in the forward motion. They don't really cut in the behind or the backward motion. So it's just a good thing to get accustomed to using a chef knife so that you can practice and play around a little bit, and they're very reasonably priced. So that, again, they're white in color, And they come in small, medium, and large, and it's good to get a nice practice knife to use. Small Santoku knife. It has a coating of Teflon on the blade of the knife. It has a reasonably sharp knife blade for a reasonably priced knife. It has a guard that comes with it. It's orange in color, and it's a nice little Santoku knife, and it doesn't have a point on it that you could jab yourself with, learning to use like the bridge method or practicing. And of course, you always want to use a knife guard if you feel unsafe using the Santoku. And again, you know, use it similar to the way you do a knife, a chef knife, in wrapping the last 3 fingers around, using your pinch method on the blade, coming up, keeping the front of the knife on the ground, and come up and cut. And this knife works very nicely for a small-handed person, and is a nice option. Has some color contrast to offset on a nice blue board. If you have low vision, that will help you a little bit sometimes because of the orange color. It doesn't have that shiny shine back thing going on with the metal. So you might want to give it a try, and it's also got that guard so it'll keep it protected in your drawer. The next knife is a utility knife, also made by Good Cooks. It's another option for you. It also comes with a guard. It's green in color. It's a little bit larger than a paring knife. Fits nicely to the hand. Has a little bit of silicone in the grip. Just like a paring knife, you want it to fit and work as a part of or an extension of your hand. Fit very comfortably in your hand. This has a nice comfortable grip. It's green in color, so it gives you a little bit of an offset color if you're peeling, say, like an apple, red, or something that's a different color. Most vegetables that you peel are not green. And so that you use that in the same way that you would a paring knife. It has just a little bit of a serrated texture to the blade, so you want to be careful because those can be sharp and they can get you a little bit more easily. So you'd want to use a guard if you were going to use this and you weren't real comfortable with using knives. So if you're ever not comfortable using knives, please do use a guard. And our next video will be on guards, and then we'll have another video on knives that are just a little bit sharper and a little bit more intense for the more practiced cooks, to show you the different options and explain them. Thank you for visiting Low Vision Chef for our basic series, and I hope this information is helpful to you. Keep cooking.